Ship. She seems to have more sense of self-preservation than we do.
Formerly of the Earth Directorate. Consider this a recording for posterity. The Consul of the Protectorate is responsible for the twisted wreckage of this station. It is my hope that whatever you find here will save the rest of the galaxy from this fate. Know that I did my level best to stop him. But if you are listening, it is likely I have failed in my mission. Yet again. For that, I am sorry.
Get away from me. See,
Agent Pascal, calm yourself. You are not—
Don't you talk to me. Wait. Commander? Is that you? No, this must be some kind of trick. I don't understand. You're not speaking sense. Something was wrong with Sandoval and Jepson.
Then they weren't too dissimilar from the
How do I know you won't turn against me as well? How do I know you won't come at me with murder in your eyes? Yeah, that's you, all right, Commander. Maybe you can... Everything was fine.
That explains it.
Wait. There was... Don't tell me the situation.
Certainly not.
Yeah. Something...
That's right. It wouldn't do to have any distractions. I'm thankful that you understand.
Oh. But...
The Protectorate are attempting to reconstitute the station to how it was moments before destruction.
So I've come back from death to some... What? Some warped You can help me, though. How much time? With the way I'm bleeding out, then go bring the fight to those bastards. I'll do...
Pascal? Helen? I can stay with you for a moment, if you'd like. Might help with the wait for the commander.
Yeah, all right. Maybe hurry back, huh?
Evidence is much too close for safety, and that rover it has dispensed. Do not like where this might fly.
Those dragoons may not be in the best shape after being pulled from the rift, but that makes them no less deadly.
I require medical
Exposure. Undermining. Functioning.
Either restore my life or avenge my death!
I'm alive. Who needs to die? Absorbed plasma. Never seen that before. Didn't know it was possible. One thing's for sure, we're not getting around it.
Gallivant about, we might find a solution to this problem.
were trying to use this equation to figure out how to remove the plasma that's agitating that rift. I may be able to do something with it. I mean, if you'd like me to.
Here we face down a more fearsome foe than ever before. Pure mathematics. Would have solved such a complex equation himself? What a brilliant mind. Let us return to the Rift Terminal so we might continue on our way. If anyone would be able to solve the equation, it would be the Sovereign.
Himself a mathematician. Let's check his work.
We operate by the Sovereign's grace. Our accomplishments are his own. If he wished to take credit for a punishment I meted out, I would be delighted. Another obstacle on our path overcome. Good work. Rover to the Providence, Arcadia may be consumed by these rifts.
to intake for processing. Welcome aboard.
Let's open the hangar while
Our luck still holds.
Any attempts to haggle will result in an automated reprimand. Please make a request. Displaying...
A veritable mosaic of conflict stands ahead, Commander. I propose we smash our way through.
Upon that.
Sharp enough. Hostiles nearby.
Assist me, will you? My death would be a stain on both of us. Maybe lethally.
Trying to wear us down through attrition, Commander. Must be unaware that we're happy to kill anything they throw at us.
Taking punitive action!
Shoot the enemy!
What, we need access credentials now? Enough of this. Let's just start killing. Far simpler. That rift modulator's gotta be somewhere around here.
This will result in swift disciplinary action. What's going on down there, Deck 01? I saw an intruder alert. Suspicious is what I am. I'm sending an odd...
If these troopers want to feed themselves to the meat grinder, you'll get no complaints from me.
impressive, Commander. I suppose it's too much to hope the rift modulator shall possess a similar override.
Who's there?
On a friendly customer.
Every component is vital.
You have my thanks and my hammer.
Off to reload!
I'm alive. Who needs to die?
If you must replace lost, please make a request. Displaying inventory.
Hey.
Greetings, unscrupulous criminal element. Please note that by entering this restricted area, you may be subject to mental refreshment. This unit acknowledges that the concept of pay may be strange and alarming. Please note that theft will result in punishments that are infinitely more strange and alarming. As a member of the how might this unit bolster or reduce your note?
in this display. Reconstitution cannot work. It must not be allowed to work.
Be wary. I've heard there's an intruder. I suppose that could be you. Forgive me. I'm still a little addled from my last refreshment. I'm going to set off an alarm, okay? Oh, is that so? I thought I'd heard those were a myth. The console sent an agent to check in on us an hour ago. I thought, if you wish to see the modulator, you'll want to speak with Chief Scientist Montserrat. He's in the rift chamber. Take these credentials with you, in case you're asked. Security's become awfully stringent of late. It wouldn't do to be caught unawares. That's why I carry 2 cards.
Of course you can't reconstitute beings pulled from a rift without errors. Unfortunately, fools like the console never let proof get in the way of their machinations. Modulator is a bit too large for us to be absconding with it, Commander. Let's see if we can find more information about it.
Unit has been... This unit beautifully acknowledges your presence.
I was told that the console had sent someone to check our progress. What exactly was it that you needed? I'm rather short on time, as a gander outside might tell you. Yeah, well, we all have urgent needs. And mine is to keep my lab and hopefully the rest of this system from falling apart. I need the modulator for my own analysis. You can wait. I'm not intending to be difficult. As you might surmise, matters have been tense these past few hours, growing more so every moment. Reconstitution is not working as expected. We are dealing with... And what makes you think that you have the authority to fix this? I don't know what that is. And either way, you are not the one I must convince to deviate. Our situation is far more, which is distressing. I've prepared a report for him showing how the very structure of the modulator makes what we're attempting impossible. Yes, but as I said, I fear the report won't do any good. Few of us have the luxury of optimism, myself included. But you seem rather sure of yourself. Perhaps that'll be enough. Here, use this keycard on the module over there. It'll allow you to download my report and grant you access to the control deck. I hope you're able to sway him. Because if you don't, a deck up in the control room. The console is the only one who has the means of controlling it, which makes your persuading him that much more
Science deck. Authorized visitor aboard. Do not be alarmed.
Accessing report. Rift restoration analysis. Compiled by Chief Scientist Monserrate. Marked for delivery to Consul Thoreau.
Esteemed Consul, after much analysis, my conclusion is that the modulator we have worked tirelessly to build will not function as intended when used for reconstituting matter from every test of reconstitution has resulted. The modulator is only effective at closing rifts from unsafe distances. Using it to close unfortunately, the data that we originally had hoped for from the ancient rifts detected in the far reaches of space, untouched by... And we are now out of time. All of our recent readings suggest that we're on the verge of losing control of it. That included extensive notes and annotations appended to the module.
We got the schematics, but it's that other information that is perplexing me. If rifts are caused by skip drives, what are they doing in deep space? We can concern ourselves with that later. First, let's find the console.
There you are, Commander. What happened? I thought you were looking for the rift modulator. Why does it still look like that out there? That's unacceptable. That complicates matters greatly. What should happen if it's damaged as we see...
And I thought I was the pessimist here. We have the schematics, we can...
Well, suppose I'm pleased to see that you still run a tight ship. Did you happen upon anything else that I should know about? In the deep reaches of space? I suppose that revelation should not come as they are proficient at monitoring space. How else do you think they effectively obfuscated their existence for so... But we will need to table this discovery and its implications for a later time. He may seem open to negotiation, but I would urge caution. If you denounce him or his plan outright, he will not yield. Unless you find his weak spots and chip at those first. The more we debate, the more time we squander. We must resupply and shore up whatever defense... And if you've something to say to any of us, Commander, I suggest you say it while you have the chance. No telling what awaits us beyond that door.
Power makes people think they're invincible. The Sovereign found out the hard way that it does not.
Don't take a seat. This will be quick. My sentinels tell me you have some interesting ideas. Oh, easy. No need to break into a sweat. Interesting ideas can be useful in the right hands. Especially now that our partnership with the... Honorable to the last. The Consul will pay. He will pay most dearly.
Also, I do have a germ of an idea. A less grand version of the grand plan. Instead of atoms and particles and such, it's made up of us. All doing our part, like cogs in a machine.
Interesting. A system where every subject believes they have a role to play. Enthusiastic obedience. Why, the Sovereign and I were thinking of this very thing. What should we call it?
Well, I'm not sure. It's still just a germ of a concept of...
You've come quite close enough. Sentinels, if you would.
Throw as many of your lackeys into the grinder as you wish. You will answer for your crimes if I must part a sea of bodies to do so.
So passionately delivered, and yet so utterly incorrect. What you are witnessing is my saving of Arcadia, and ridding it permanently of trespassers like you. You are less a guest and more of an invasive species. Yes, I know well who you are. In any other situation, I might be compelled to take you apart. You are a relic of an impotent institution, propelled forward by nothing more than luck and foolhardy Indeed. Rarely are there enough measures to keep the most tenacious of sprats from gnawing their... I've been following your progress closely, you know, since you so unceremonious... When you began your dealings with the Order and the Corporatists, I thought that perhaps... But now you're here, scurrying around my ship and attempting to thwart the Protectorate yet again. You think yourself clever, don't you? The Sovereign is indisposed. What's his is mine. And the victory I inevitably clench over you, over anyone, will be his in turn, even if he's not here to bask in it. Such bravado is unbecoming when you can't make good on your promises. Tell me, did you manage to stop us from bringing your peace talks to a swift end? As I recall, greater... It was a modest success. I was able to buy the time to enact the very plan before you. Though, judging from that vacant expression on your face, it would appear you've no idea what I intend. Very well. Once the rift destroys Arcadia, we shall edit the information stored within it and use the modulator to... Horizon Point's destruction all those years ago was a tragedy, yes, but without it, we might never have opened our eyes to our true purpose and the possibility of Arcadia's... When the Matriarch discovered the first skip drive, she set us on a course to elevate humanity. We're now writing our path. Intrepid, aren't you? Well, our Matriarch dissected this skip drop, but it was not until it is as the Grand Architect designed. And believe you me, I've no intention of letting you thwart our securing of a better future, one free of doubt and greed.
Beware, Commander. The Consul is a master manipulator. Trying to speak with him may be more dangerous than...
You're entirely up, and were I within reach, I would strike down this apostate dog myself. If you wish for me to entertain your argument, you will
No. Every breath this blackguard draws is a breath stolen from the people of Arcadia. Execution. This course of action will see the crimes led Consul Emery Thoreau. I accuse you of perfidy of the highest degree, traitorism against the Sovereign and his Protectorate. I find you guilty on all counts. Prepare for absolution.
You overeager fools. This is the
prosecuting!
Close me! My injuries are not superficial!
And my accurate craftsmanship!
I'm alive.
I am out!
Ship's ours, Commander. We should get to the helm.
This is hardly my area of expertise, but I believe I understand. If we wish to halt Arcadia's destruction, this ship must be flown into the rift, manually.
Maybe let's think of this less as a suicide mission and more as an opportunity in disguise.
No need to belabor this. I will fly the ship. Back on greater tranquility, you wish to give me a chance to atone for my mistakes. I'd say that opportunity...
No one's going in there without me. And I'll make sure she does this right if it's the...
A more than motley pair. Can we be certain that they shall keep one another in check?
One who chooses not to die needlessly. But if you are set on this, I would still join you. This is my mission too, and I'll not back down if there are others to carry out the rest.
You're really keeping me from doing this, aren't you? So be it. Then I will take this. I'll see that they are used with the processed rift data to produce modulators that can be operated at a safe distance. Rifts will no longer be a problem for the colonies. You don't trust stable, dependable me with the future of...
Salvation awaits, Commander. I'm itching to reach it.
Commanders sacrificed themselves to save the galaxy. No one knew their motives or thoughts in those final moments, though legends grew around this mythical agent of the Earth Directorate all the same. Augustine de Vries went along, knowing nothing would make up for her actions. But at least she'd not have to live with her guilt any longer. Val continued to serve the Earth Directorate faithfully for many more years than should be possible, giving automechs like her everywhere a reputation as stable and reliable. As a result, more Valerie units were put into service, while fewer human agents were deployed into the field. As he rose through the Earth Directorate ranks, Niles pressed for a field directive to deploy the new Val units only when the situation posed significant risk. The policy reduced agent casualties by a significant margin. Oddly enough, in-office deaths increased by a not insignificant margin. Agent Niles Ibarra achieved the rank of commander, earning renown as a formidable agent, unafraid to challenge the status quo within the Earth Directorate. He recruited his friend Zebulon Tran to the Earth Directorate, a gesture of gratitude for not airing the Directorate's dirty laundry. Together, they vowed to reform the agency from within, so it might never again bargain with authoritarian governments. Ultimately, Niles rose to the position of Secretary General. His term saw the Earth Directorate at its most popular, or, in the eyes of corporations and tyrannical governments, most feared. Tristan never uncovered who actually killed the Supreme Arbiter, a failing that chipped away at his ability to arbitrate. His once promising calling eventually ended with him stripped of rank, programming menial automechanicals somewhere deep within the husk of Protectorate society. Marisol quietly fumed over her unfinished business with Anaïs Bujold at Point Obviation. She eventually passed away in her sleep, alone and full of regret. Sovereign Varric was eventually discovered in mental refreshment in a placid and compliant state. All parties felt it would be best to leave him in the hands of the remaining Protectorate, who had the most experience with refreshment's process and victims. Despite the recent tumultuous events in Arcadia, it was business as usual for Free Market Station. Sub Rosa continued to supply the colony in the wake of the commander's actions. With unfettered access to skip drives, and its reputation untarnished by its still secret agreement with the Protectorate, the Earth Directorate became what it was always meant to be, the ultimate authority in Arcadia. The colony served as a base to expand the agency's reach across the galaxy. All of these events turned on the decisive actions of the Earth Directorate agent and their unique way of navigating Arcadia, its disparate factions, social complexities, ubiquitous product placement, and arsenal of absurdly satisfying weaponry. But through it all, and to this day, Earth has remained inexplicably dark.